you know, was based on the classic TV show. I've seen the classic show. Why, hello there YouTube, and welcome back to 31, and it is day 8, and it is the 8th and final day of Rob Zombie week, and for that one I am reviewing his latest film, which came out last year. Can you guess it? Yes, it's The Munsters. So, based on the classic 60s comedy show of the same name, this is Rob Zombie's reimagining of the classic show, where Lily Munster, well, she's not Lily Munster yet, but Lily, played by Sheri Moon Zombie, living with Grandpa, or the Count as he is in this one, because he's not Grandpa yet, is looking for the right man, someone to love, and of course, Herman Munster is created in classic Frankenstein style, and is also kind of looking for a bride. And after Lily has had many unlucky attempts at finding love, she meets Herman, and they hit it off, and they go on dates, and they fall in love. They get married, and they decide they want to move from Transylvania to a new secluded place like America, and they find an old haunted, well, not a haunted house, but an old rundown house on Mockingbird Lane. So they move on Halloween, and they love the neighbours, thinking they're all great and everything, but then realise that it was Halloween that night they moved, and everyone is not a monster like they are, but they live there and decide to start a new life. So that's the story there. So what did I like about this one? Well, first of all, this is a PG film, and like I do with 31, I like to at least review one film that is a PG friendly film, and this is it. That, and then one film that's at least foreign, non-English, which I'll do at one point. But yeah, I guess I like that Rob Zombie tried something PG friendly and something different, something for the whole family to enjoy. And for probably the first time ever, I think this is probably the one Rob Zombie film that doesn't have any brutal violence in there, or any foul-mouthed redneck swearing, which was something definitely out of his comfort zone. I did like that again, it referenced the classic Universal horrors, and it also was based on the classic TV show. I've seen the classic show, and I love watching that. Had serious competition with the Addams Family around that time in the 60s, but again, like with Halloween, this was Rob Zombie's own reimagining take on the Munsters, and I liked it. I thought it was good, it was entertaining, it was watchable. It was, a bit silly in some moments, a bit too cartoonish, but I didn't care. I thought it was alright, I mean, Daniel Phillips as Herman, I thought was brilliant. The makeup on him was great, and I thought, yeah, he's the right build for it. The Count, who would one day be Grandpa, he was alright in his role, and Sheri Moon Zombie as Lily. Now, when Rob Zombie announced he was going to do the Munsters, I knew straight away that Sheri Moon was going to play Lily. You know, there was no doubt about it, and I was right. People say the casting choice for her was poor. She does a terrible Lily Munster, but I thought she was okay. I thought, probably because I was prepared for it and I knew she was inevitably going to be in that role, I guess I made peace with it very quickly and knew that she would be in there. This also had Sylvester McCoy in it, former Doctor Who, in there as Igor, Grandpa's assistant, and of course we all know Igor is a bat. And in this it is explained how he becomes one. But this is also a prequel as well, like a origin story to how it all started for them, which does explain the absence of Eddie and Marilyn, because in the classic show we had Eddie Munster, who was a little werewolf, and Marilyn, who was a human, who was the odd one to them. But we don't see them in this film, they're completely absent, and they're not in it. I guess that's one negative I can say about it, but given the story and the plot and everything, I thought, okay, this is an origin story, I guess I can let it slide. But I loved how they recreated the opening credits when Herman breaks through the door with Lily there coming out the door and then Grandpa with the shovel, but it just didn't feel the same about Eddie or Marilyn in there. But yeah, this had Richard Brake in there too, who played two roles. He played the guy who created Herman, and he played Nosferatu or Orlok, who was one of Lily's dates in the movie. Yeah, I didn't know that was Richard Brake playing two roles. I knew he was playing the scientist, but I didn't know he was playing Nosferatu until I saw the credits rolling. And I was like, so he played two roles in this, not just the one. We also had that guy from Lost, the big one, Harley. He was, or is it Hurley from Lost? He was in this as like the Igor character that assisted the scientist. So we had a few, non-regulars in there in this film, but we also had our regular actors in there with this film. I feel if Sid Haig was still alive, would he have got the part of his grandpa? Or in this, the Count. Sorry, it's force of habit that. But yeah. And will they do a sequel? You know what? I actually want to see a sequel where I like to think, adopt Eddie and Marilyn is like a long lost relative. They should at least, I'd like to see Rob Zombie make a sequel to this where we have Eddie and Marilyn, because then we've got the whole family in there. But I don't know. I think this had mixed reviews and a lot of hell on Sheri Moon for playing Lily. But I genuinely enjoyed watching this one. I mean, yeah, it was never going to be like the classic show, but I like this fresh take on it and how Rob Zombie stepped out of his comfort zone to give us something PG friendly, for once, instead of his usual stuff. So yeah, I thought this was, also it came out around the time of Halloween last year, I think, so great way for the Halloween season for it to come out, really. So, the Munsters. What am I going to rate this one? Well, I'll give it 3 stabs out of 5. 3 stabs out of 5 for Rob Zombie's The Munsters. So there you go, there's my review today, and that is it for Rob Zombie week. So yeah, we've gone through our first week, even though we had an extra day on that, 7 days, 8 days. So there you go, there is the final day of Rob Zombie week. That's it, the end of Rob Zombie week. So tomorrow, it's a new day and a new theme, a new week. And for that, I'll be doing first and last week, which will be one day I'll review the first installment of a horror franchise, and then I'll review the last installment of that horror franchise, only by the sequel. So remakes, I'm not going to include on that week. But like I said, I'll probably explain it again tomorrow when I start first and last week. But yeah, you can watch all of Rob Zombie Week and 31 this year so far on the channel. So yeah, I will see you tomorrow, and be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I usually upload Fridays mainly, but it's October. I do 31 days in October. So yeah, until next time, don't have nightmares.